2 herbs, 2 vitamins, and 2 minerals. Those are my not so well kept secrets to helping you deal with depression without medication. Hi, guys, my name is Cameron Lovelace, and I'm a mental health therapist and a business burnout coach that loves helping entrepreneurs reduce their stress on their mind and body so that they can grow and scale their business. But today we are starting a series called Super Stress Supplements that teaches you how to reduce the stress on our mind and our body. Now, today's edition of Super Stress Supplements actually started with this video that I posted here on YouTube Shorts that talked about natural ways to deal with depression. So, before we get into it, I want to clarify, I am a mental health therapist, but not a psychiatrist. I'm not responsible for prescribing the medications or helping you adjust your dosages or anything like that. Always consult your medical doctor or your psychiatrist before you make any decisions concerning your personal medication. And as always, do your due diligence. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, we have to understand how depression affects the brain. So what we have to understand is that when somebody's experiencing depression on a brain level, you're having a decrease in the neurotransmitters dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. So what we want to do is add things that can aid in the production of these neurotransmitters, but also remove the things that are, harming us from making those neurotransmitters, like our life circumstances, traumatic events, things that are happening outside of our life, right? So make sure that you're also going to therapy or getting you a mental health coach, whatever your strategy is, to make sure that you're dealing with those life circumstances and those other scenarios. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the supplements. So let's get into these herbs. So the first one that I want to talk about is Rhodiola rosea. And I got to say, personally, this is one of my favorite herbs that I take. I don't have depression. I don't have clinical anxiety. I don't have any of those things. But I just feel really good when I take Rhodiola rosea because it is an adaptogen that helps your body be able to deal with stress and be able to balance cortisol levels. And if you know anything about cortisol, it gets the rep as the primary stress hormone that puts us in a fight or flight state. And when our body is pumping too much cortisol, it hurts us in a whole lot of different health circumstances. So Rhodiola rosea is one of the ones that help us deal with that cortisol regulation, but it also gives us energy. And the thing about adaptogens in general is that their role is to help not only balance the cortisol, but also bring us hormonal balance. And what a lot of people don't know is that your hormones can directly affect your mental health. So in particular for me, I have a lot of clients that had PCOS or have PCOS. PCOS stands for, here's the acronym right here. And honestly, a lot of those clients sometimes have mental health issues. So if you have hormonal concerns or hormonal conditions, I would definitely recommend not only do you see how it's affecting you, but two, that you look into an adaptogenic herb like Rhodiola rosea that's going to help bring balance to your hormones. So that's number one on rhodiola. The next one that I talked about is saffron. Saffron is actually a herb from the eastern area of the world and has actually been studied to be a healthy alternative to medication. And the reason why it is because those neurotransmitters that I talked about earlier, it helps with the production of that in the nerves and the brain neurons, help them be able to connect and communicate like they need to when, depression is hindering that. It helps with that neuroplasticity, if you will. And I know that's a fancy word, but basically it helps your brain work properly like it needs to. And so the thing about both of these particular herbs, you can take them in supplement form. You can take them, if you want to, get it in powdered form and you want to be able to, take it and scoop it or put it in your smoothies, you can do that. Personally, I take Rhodiola rosea as a supplement. So in a capsulated supplement, and saffron, full disclosure, I haven't tried saffron yet, but I'm told that the tea forms are also very good as well. So you can take it as a tea and just sip it every morning. All right. Again, consult your doctor and your psychiatrist. All right, next, let's get into the vitamins. So the first vitamin I want to talk about is vitamin D. Now, vitamin D has a ton of benefits for our body, but here's the thing. I'll speak for the US, many Americans are very deficient in vitamin D, especially those of us who work corporate jobs or we work in an office and don't get much vitamin D from the sun. So taking a vitamin D supplement is going to definitely help you have many benefits. But when it comes to our brain, it's going to directly help with the production of serotonin. Now, for those of you who don't know, serotonin is what helps us be able to balance our mood. So when we're going through that depression and we're going up, down, left, right, this serotonin level is what helps us bring our mood back to stable. And so taking vitamin D is going to aid in that as well. It's also going to help your immune system as well. So going to help you to stay not sick. Hey guys, if you're watching this video, chances are you are looking for healthy ways to reduce your stress. So I want to just tell you about my ebook. It's called The Stress Buster Survival Guide, over 50 ways to reduce your stress outside of therapy. Now, I am a huge proponent of therapy as I am a therapist. However, sometimes we need something in the moment that we can just look at and say, okay, let me try this, let me do this. Once you're feeling a little stressed, a little overwhelmed. So this is just a resource for you to have in your pocket. It's digital, so you can have it and access it at any time. And it's only $25. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and just click the link below and download the ebook today. All right, back to the video. All right, the next thing is vitamin B12. Now, lots of vitamin B, vitamins B6, B9, I think even B3. All of these things help our body in some way, shape, or form. But particularly my favorite is B12 because it helps with energy. And it also helps with the production of the neurotransmitters that we talked about earlier. So B12 is going to help you have that energy that we need, especially if you're having depression and all the energy is sapped because we're feeling worthless, we're feeling like, you know, we're not worthy, and all these types of feelings that's going to sap all of our energy. Vitamin B12 is going to help us give us that energy back naturally without, you know, caffeinated beverages that have the crash and things like that. So the B12 is what's going to give us the energy, and it's going to help with the production of those neurotransmitters. All right, so those are my two vitamins. So now let's transition to the minerals. So the first mineral that I talked about in the video is iron. So without getting too scientific about it, iron's role is to help blood flow. So making sure that the blood is going to and from the organs like it needs to, and that includes the brain. So our brain needs, I can't remember exactly, I'll put it right here, but our brain needs a significant amount of blood flow to be able to work properly, especially if we're under distress or depression. So you want to make sure that you're taking your iron supplements, not only to give you that blood flow, but also to give you the energy that we need as well. And we talked about that earlier when we talked about B12. Now, the next one I want to talk about is zinc. And zinc is another one that a lot of people, you know, don't make sure that they have a lot of. And so zinc is very important to, again, a lot of systems, but in particular, I want to highlight it really helps with our immunity and our inflammation of our body. And so a lot of people don't understand how inflammation in our body overall is not good, and it's really not good for our blood flow and our brain. So taking zinc is going to help us not only stay healthy like the vitamin D, so it's going to work together with vitamin D to keep you strong, healthy, but it's also going to help with that chronic inflammation as well. So taking these kind of supplements not only is going to help you with the neuroplasticity, the brain side, the neurotransmitter production of depression, but it's also going to help your overall body as well, to help you have more energy so that you can be able to actually get out of bed and not feel like a worthless blob, like a cloud is floating and that you're, you know, worthless, or you want to, you know, do something to yourself. It's going to help you feel better so that you can actually make the progress, make it to your therapy session, and actually do something about this depression. So one of the questions that I got was actually, well, do I take one or do I take all of it? Does it interact with my medication? So as far as I know, all of these things are safe to take with your current antidepressant medication if you're taking it. So you should be good to go. But I would recommend starting off with at least the vitamins and the minerals, because our body kind of needs those. When it comes to the herbs, I say try one before you try both of them, so you can know if your body responds to one better than the other. That's my advice on it. That's my non-psychiatric advice on the matter. If you want me to do a video like this on my top supplements for anxiety, comment below and I'll be sure to make that video and drop it for you guys. All right, guys, until next time, peace.